If I were still a paramedic, there are several things I would do differently. I'm Matthew Hennigan, a former paramedic with 17 years of experience who worked on the front line of Canada's healthcare system. One of the things that I would do very differently is I would allow myself permission to be vulnerable around my squad mates. And I would hope that in doing so, I would allow them the opportunity to be vulnerable as well. There are many times where, as a paramedic and a first responder, we think that it's our job to remain stoic and to be impenetrable and that we don't feel things. We just go to the next call. And there's a certain element of truth in that, and that is where the dangers of the job really begin to grab you with their pernicious tentacles, because we are human, but there's always a next call. Another thing I would change is accepting that no matter how skilled I am, no matter how much textbook knowledge I possess, some people's destinies are already predetermined and that there's nothing I can do to, and in that, I would have to accept that some people cannot be saved. I would also understand that the uniform is not made of Teflon. It is not impenetrable. If I go to something sad, I'm allowed to be sad. If I go to something dangerous, I'm allowed to be scared. If I go to something gross, I'm allowed to be icked. The uniform, as sharp as it is, and as much weight as those crests are holding on your shoulder, you're still a human beneath the threading of that uniform, and you're allowed to be human. And I think that is something that I would tell myself daily, as well as my coworker. Another thing that I would advocate for is time off between calls. Not every call, but sometimes you go to a big call, and when you get to the hospital, you have a supervisor pushing you out the door saying, hey, there's another call, we got to get you going, you can do your paperwork later, you can record stuff later. And yet paperwork is one of the biggest things that saves a paramedic's career, because we get audited several times a year where they bring you in front of a medical oversight and you have to explain the call that you went to, the decisions you made, etc., etc. And if your paperwork is not impeccable, you could really leave yourself open to a lot of liable lawsuit. And so I would advocate for time off, not only for that reason, but also when you go to really big, heavy stuff, you need time to decompress. The system is inherently broken, but it is not our fault. We didn't break the system, and we shouldn't be used as the glue that holds a broken system that is politically corrupt.